And welcome everyone to episode 37 of Rime of the Frost Maiden. I'm Samson Paul with the party here with me tonight. How's everybody feeling? Is everyone ready for some D&D?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Should be a good episode. I think it would be a lot of fun if I have any vague idea of where you guys are going, but we never know. So, as I get my dice all out, get them ready. Make a nice little jingle down there. Want to say thank you everybody for joining us on YouTube or on Twitch, in the VOD or later on YouTube. Thanks for coming out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get some plugs in before we start with our recap. So, Chris, would you like to plug the tavern?
Yeah, sure. Tavern is a nice little Facebook community where we share memes and really just come together to explore our love of tabletop RPGs and D&D specifically. But we welcome all kinds there, unless you suck. But we just had our Meme of the Month contest. We voted on our winners. We're still waiting for like 2 more mods to get their votes in, but we'll be giving away a $50 gift card to either Wormwood, Heartbeat Dice, or Hero Forge, and that'll likely get announced tomorrow if the other few mods manage to vote. But we're excited to be back into it, so join us at the tavern.
How was the meme crop this month? There were some pretty good memes I saw.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Honestly, up until yesterday, we had like 2 entries, and that was it. And then yesterday, a bunch of them came flooding in.
Oh,
so,
it was all yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of it was yesterday. We went from like 2 to I think 15 or so. So
Yeah, there were a lot.
but it's good. I like a good hefty choice.
Yeah, if you haven't already and you're not already a member, click the link in the chat. Join the tavern. It's a great spot. It's been nothing but good people from what I've seen that have been allowed to stay there. So I'd like to think that these guys are doing a good job cultivating a very nice and inclusive community for all. So let's see. Follow me on Twitter at Samson Paul on all social media devices. Theater people here just finished their big show. How did Repo go?
Oh, it was awesome. It was so much fun. Great turnout, great crowds each night, and even our worst show, but like they all were good, but the ones, the one particular that had a couple hangups was still good. Like very few mistakes. The cast was incredible, and it was an awesome experience, and I'm so proud of everybody. It was great.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. And then, you guys have other things in the works?
We got Grave Tales later on this month, every 4th Friday and Saturday at Nathan Peace.
Yeah, Hannah and I are directing one of the acts this month.
Ooh.
And then we're not even going to get to be there show night because we're going to be at a music festival in Alabama, but we're directing it until the show happens, so.
And Andy and I are actually hosting this month.
Whoa.
Ooh. Very nice.
Yep, since Sean's at the Spook House for the next 2 months, they needed a host, and we were already in it, so we're like, well, we'll just tag team it.
That's exciting. Nice. Well, very good. We are missing Andy tonight as he is off filming for independent movie that he is a part of, so break a leg to him and we'll have him back next week. But we also, if you notice, have artwork of Armand Hammer up there standing in the middle of the group.
Yeah.
Hey! Yeah. Excited to have all that done, and if you enjoy any of the artwork, check out the Instagram artist down below. Megan Roden is her name. She's just opened a sticker shop recently that has all of the spooky stuff in stock at the moment. So check her out. Find her Instagram, give her a follow. She's also on TikTok where you can actually see her drawing process of Armand Hammer, and every step of the way from line art to shading and final touches all the way through. She does those time lapses that are very nice. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the recap. Who would like to recap this week? That's what I thought. So, last week, the party ventured off from saying their goodbyes to Carcass, heading over to East Haven to pursue retrieving the fishing tackle that was stolen from a family member of Nadia, I believe her name was, in East Haven. And they had discovered that it was stolen by gnolls, so they made their way out, tracked down the last known locations, and learned that they were not the only party on the trail. And they seemed to, even though with the new expeditious travel spell that Andy had, they still could not catch up to this other party that had ventured out before them, finding bodies of gnolls in the wastes of winter. And as they entered the facility, maneuvered their way down this icy chasm that they called home. Getting through each little individual spot, certain gnolls actually chose not to attack the party, as Vega was so kind to feed them on their way out. Did not provoke any attacks from these very obviously hungry gnolls. But when venturing into the boss room, essentially, the party saw 3 individuals laying waste to the gnoll leader and trying to take the fishing tackle for themselves in a turnabout of event. This did not go well with one of the second party, and even though Lek had secured the fishing tackle from the individual, Armand Hammer set his foot down into the ground and told them it was not all right, and that they should just go ahead and leave, and which they did. And Armand Hammer returned with the party to East Haven to return the fishing tackle to little Nadia. Upon that, and getting to know him a little bit, the party offered for Armand Hammer to join them in their endeavors to battle the perpetual winter that has overtaken Icewind Dale. And the party had made their way to Bryn Shander to report on all of their findings of the mind flayers and all of that good stuff. And then they were given information as well about the Duragar base that had been discovered, their location, and an ominous message from another informant that they may be mounting their attack on Icewind Dale soon. But they could not give any indication onto how soon was. So we pick up inside of Bryn Shander with the party, let's say, reconvening at the tavern after getting that information, and also meeting a gnome named Copper, who had given them information on a supposedly haunted cabin out in the middle of the woods towards Tourmaline and that lonely wood area. So, as you guys are inside this tavern, it's quite busy. It's later in the afternoon, so people have turned in for the most part and are starting to imbibe on alcohol and dinner, all that kind of thing, and it's fairly busy at the North Look. What's on your guys' mind? What would you guys like to do?
I guess have a drink and read a book.
Have a drink, read a book. All right.
One of my new Duragar book, probably.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. You're able to find a good little corner, kind of secluded from all the noise and mayhem going on in the tavern, and read some books.
Are there any shops open?
Yeah, you could probably find a shop or two. What would you like to
Excellent.
look for?
Just somewhere I could sell these amethysts.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and make a investigation check. We'll give you advantage because you've been in Bryn Shander a while.
That would be a dirty 20.
Oh yeah. You definitely know of someone who would take these amethysts off your hands.
Perfect. I'll look to the party and just be like, I'm going to sell some fancy rocks. Anyone want to join me?
I'll go with you.
Oh, wonderful.
Is this still the evening? Because I think Andy already went to bed.
Yeah, it is later in the evening, but
Okay. I'm fine with sticking to that. I just wanted to make sure.
okay. So, anyone else want to accompany Silas on the shopping run?
Now I'm gonna kick back with Vega as well.
Okay, very good. So, with that, Silas and Eclipse, you make your way over to. This would be Cuthuy's Emporium near the trade market, or the trade center of town. It's a little two-story stone-walled building, very much influenced by dwarf architecture, and you see inside a heavy-set male human. He's tending to the shop, looking like he's about ready to close down, and as you're about to enter, he says, "Oh, come on in. I'm just wrapping up. If you know what you want."
Yes, terribly sorry to interrupt you at this hour. Would I recognize this person or have any dealings with him in the past?
You may have bought something from him before. I don't know if your rapport would be, friendly. If that makes sense.
Not likely. I tend not to remember people's names, not the common folk.
Cuthuy, you would know, but it's fine.
Sure, fair enough. Cuthuy, I have some pretties to get off my person if you had any interest, and I'll take out the 2 amethysts that I dug out in that tower.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take a look at him here. Set him on the table. I'll get my inspecting glasses.
Wonderful. I'll just set them down and look to him, and then turn to Eclipse and be like, I don't know if there's anything that might interest you here, but I might be up for treating, depending on how well this turns out for me.
Sounds good. I'll look around and see if anything catches my eye.
Okay, make a perception check.
Oh, that's an 8.
You look over on the wall and you see a selection of different colored potions. It looks like you see an interesting mace around there. And then the only thing that you can really... the other thing that catches your eye is a very nice looking lance that's mounted up behind the counter there. But as you also start looking around, you see this human has stopped in place, seemingly in middle of the walkway, and you see that his eyes are closed.
I'll nudge Silas and point at the person who has their eyes closed.
And that's Cuthuy who has their eyes closed, or is that someone else?
Cuthuy.
Oh. Why is he doing that?
Now, I think we may have disturbed him just a bit too late. We'll hurry this up. Cuthuy, are you with me still?
Oh, yeah, sorry. And he returns to doing retrieving his glasses, and he comes back and starts taking a look over at these amethysts. He says, they seem to be genuine. That looks quite nice. What are you offering?
Well, I don't know what your budget is, but I would love to get 200 for the pair, if that's possible.
That would be, I'd say, a good retail price. I can perhaps give you 125 to sort of meet you in the middle.
That is quite close to the middle. Do you think we go a little bit closer at maybe 135?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
$29.
And as you make your counter offer, you see him start to lean back a little bit, and his eyes start to close, and they almost close completely before you take notice.
Cuthuy, I know you're tired. Why don't we call it 150 and you can go to bed right away?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Just 1 second. And he walks away from the table, and he retrieves his coin, and he places it into a coin purse and sets it on the table, and he says, pleasure doing business with you. I appreciate your patronage.
Absolutely. And I'll slide him the amethyst and take my coin and count it out real quick.
Yep, 150.
An absolute delight, Cuthuy. Real quick, Eclipse, did you see anything that tripped your trigger?
Oh, nothing that I had to have.
Very well. Perhaps we'll return in the morning after Cuthuy's getting some rest. A pleasure as always, though.
Yes, of course. Do come back.
Of course. Sleep well, don't have any terrible dreams, and, well, we'll see you soon.
And Cuthuy starts to return back to closing down shop, and turning in for the night is when you guys exit the door, exit the shop. The door closes behind you, and you see the lights start to dim down as he starts to blow out the candles and all that good stuff. So, anything else you would like to do about town?
Eclipse, please do note I could have robbed him blind and I didn't do it. Please let the group know that I am showing signs of personal growth.
I will. I'm so proud of you for growing.
Yes, I'm proud of me too. Not too proud, but proud enough. Anything else you wish to do?
No, I'm content on going back and settling in.
Sounds good. Thank you for accompanying me, then.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll just go on back and maybe have a drink if they have wine. Please have wine.
Please.
No wine. I'm sorry.
Damn it!
But, someone always has to accompany Silas to bear witness to the minimal effort to being a nice human.
Pixar didn't happen.
Right? But nonetheless, you guys return back to the tavern, and you see a number of people have filed out at this point, returning home. Vega and the crew still out and sipping on mead or lagers, whatever their choice was, and killing time until they feel it's time to turn in.
I'm ready to turn in pretty quick, so.
Okay, is that the same for everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so.
All right. So the innkeeper comes by and says you guys are on the house tonight. Markham sent word that you guys might be staying here, so please help yourself to your rooms, and we'll see you in the morning. So with that, you guys have the ability to just go back into your rooms and retreat for the night, which you do. So anything anyone would like to do in the solitude of their rooms at this moment?
I mean, if Lex already passed out, I'll put his hand in warm water, but other than that...
Oddly, nothing happens. It seems that he's emptied his bowels sufficiently before heading off to bed.
Smart man.
But as the time passes and you guys get your long rest in the tavern, morning comes. The break of dawn just starts to glisten in through your into your windows, into your rooms, and you guys reconvene in the main hall. Breakfast smells good. The barkeep comes by and asks if anyone would like any breakfast to start the morning.
I would love some breakfast.
Sure.
What are you serving?
Oh, we actually have some ham in this morning. But of course it's with some knucklehead trout in there. We have to get rid of it, you know. But we have some ham and eggs and knucklehead trout eggs.
That sounds delicious. Yes, I'll take some.
All right. So everyone who wants breakfast this morning, 3 silver is the going rate in Bryn Shander for a meal.
How much to just pay for everyone to have some breakfast?
For everyone, I believe it totals 24 silver. So 2 gold, 4 silver.
I'll pay 4 gold just because I know these people.
Aww.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for the kind tip. We'll be sure your food is hot and not lukewarm.
Of course. You know I'll make it all back if I decide to perform anyway.
It's very true. It's very true.
That was very nice, Silas. Thank you.
Of course,
thanks,
please tell
Violet.
your friends.
Yes, he also didn't overcharge the shopkeeper last night. It was actually very reasonable.
Aw, Silas.
Yes, I am wonderful. Speaking of wonderful things, Zizix. I see the silent treatment. Very well. We'll discuss this another time.
Probably got baby aggro.
Yeah, I forgot that. I forgot he was away.
No worries.
I mean, I can be saying, "Hello, Silas, best friend."
That was pretty close.
Yeah, I think so.
So, as everyone served their breakfast and puts it away and finishes their meal, what's on the agenda?
Were we going to go and explore this black cabin?
Yeah, I think so.
And Lek was the one that had obtained that information from Copper, correct?
I think. She kind of looks around at everyone else.
I was informed that my speech was a little buzzy. Is this any better?
It's about the same.
Oh Lord, I think I need to get a new headset.
Yeah. But it's audible for the most part, so.
Okay.
But yeah, to fill in the blank, Lek did come up with that information from Copper. Someone else was with him last week, and I don't remember who.
Didn't he meet with Copper at the library?
Yes, it was at the library.
Then I
you
was
would've been
there, and so was.
I think it was me.
Yeah, I think so.
So you would know that the Black Cabin lays past the forest, just northeast of Lonely Wood.
Okay. Well, is that where we want to go?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm intrigued by it.
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
You guys take your leave from the tavern in Bryn Shander and make your way out the north gate and head northwest towards Targos, which let's see, the turn from Targos to Tourmaline, which is en route to Lonely Wood, happens about a quarter mile out from the town of Targos. So who is going to be leading the party?
I can do it.
All right. Go ahead and give me a survival check as you guys venture out of Bryn Shander and are about maybe 20 minutes away from Targos at this point, as this is a new trail that you guys have not traversed before.
Alrighty. 1 moment.
I can assist with that if you like.
I just rolled a nat 20
That would be wonderful.
to help you out there, buddy.
Well, that was a nat 20, so for survival, that is 27.
Damn, very nice. So, as you were about maybe 30 minutes away from Targos, you kind of speak up and say, we can save some time if we cut across here. It's really not as treacherous as traveling the wilderness, and you actually save some time on traveling. Lysander also being familiar with this trail, having come from Bremen, you guys take this shortcut and you crest upon a hill, and you see in the vast view from that vantage point, you see the large lake of Mare Dualden, which is just on the east side of Bremen, where Lysander and Zizix have hailed from. But you find yourselves back on the trail, heading towards Tourmaline. Anything you guys would like to do in particular while you are traveling?
So what's there to do in Tourmaline? Has anyone been before?
I don't think so.
I don't think I have. Can't say that I have. Not to my recollection.
Well then, this will be fun for all of us.
A new adventure.
So, as you guys make the last leg of the hike, the sun is beginning to set, as you guys have expended most of the day traveling in the sun. It's actually dark for about an hour before you arrive. And you find the trail leading to Tourmaline. And as you venture closer, you see that this is a coastal city on the lake, on Meridwalden. You see signposts as you enter the town, pointing towards the Blue Clam, which is the local tavern. And there's also an inn closer to where you are that is just purely an inn called the East Side. So, with those few choices ahead of you, you see that there's a few people kind of mulling about. You notice a lot of black dirt on a lot of these people that are passers-by in town. Let's see. I would like you guys to make an intelligence check.
I think you cut out after black.
There's a lot of black on the villagers in this town. I would like you guys to make a intelligence check.
That's a 19 for
got an
Eclipse.
8.
Okay.
16 for Lysander.
18 for Silas.
All right.
14 for Vega. Oh no, wait, you said check, not saving throw, didn't you?
Correct.
10.
All right. Anybody else higher than a 19? All right. So Eclipse, you recall that there is a gem mine in Tourmaline. So all of this black dust and soot that you're seeing on some of the townsfolk here is likely from the mine.
Ah.
Yes. So, what would the party like to do?
Vega's kind of gonna look around at the rest of the party and say, "To the Blue Clam."
Yeah.
Why not?
All right.
Okay. You guys making your way downtown, walking west. Face is cold because it's cold out.
God damn it, Sam! I love you.
Making your way through town. Find the Blue Clam, which is right on the coastline. And as you enter, you notice there's a lot of obvious fishermen here. You see see a handful of mine workers here as well, partaking and sitting close by the fire. What would you guys like to do?
Find an empty table and try and call a bartender over to order drinks,
right.
I guess.
And you find a table just fine, and you call over the barkeep, and he's a young teenager comes by and says, "Hello, my name's Marta. How can I help you?"
I suppose you probably don't, but I would be remiss if I did not at least check for my friend here. Do you have any wine?
Oh, we do have a little bit of wine. It might be reserved, though. Let me check.
Wonderful. Just let me know.
And is there anything else other than wine I can help anybody with?
I'm all right for now, thank you.
I suppose I'll take a mead.
All
I'll
right.
have a meat as well.
Great. Yes, of course. And she comes back with everyone's mead, and also with a very, essentially like a shot glass full of wine and says, "It's hard to come by nowadays, so we have to serve it by the shot. I hope that's okay."
How much for the bottle, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, we only have half the bottle left. We're looking at maybe 4 or 5 gold.
Very well. I'll take that, please. And thank you.
And her eyes kind of get big, and she says, "Of course, of course."
Andy
And-
will hand her 6 gold. And she'll look
Oh.
at Silas and say, "On me."
Well, thank you, Adriana. Would you like to
Of course.
split a glass with me or have a glass of your own?
I'll have a couple sips, but I don't want to dominate your favorite drink.
You're a kind one, Andy.
Hey.
And Marta's eyes get big at the sight of just this extra gold being thrown her way, and she hurries back and brings the whole bottle with an extra pair of glasses. She says, "Thank you very much. I appreciate it."
Of course.
I'm picturing the scene in Eurotrip when they tip the guy a nickel. And he's like, "You see this? I quit. I opened my own hotel."
There's a movie I have not thought of in years. Thank you, Billy.
Right? Right?
Scotty doesn't know.
Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday.
This is a
Oh,
children's show.
The movie was classic.
Sorry.
So, as you are granted this bottle of wine and the mead is served and everything, Marta returns back to her duties, and you pick up on a little jingle that she's singing to herself quite calmly. She sings, "Ahead of winter's wind she came, the lovely woman with no name, draped in a fur-lined cloak of red, to the icy lake she fled. The wind pursued all the same, as sure as night she's dead." So, yeah, take that
Dude,
for
someone
what you
needs to
will.
make a metal cover of that song real bad.
Silas is working on it.
That
Can I see if I recognize that song from any legend or anything such as that?
Let's see if it has any historical value here. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll an intelligence check on that, or a history check if you'd prefer.
26. It was almost a nat 1.
actually, if we can do history, I'd like to roll that too. Although I'm not going to get higher than that, I'm sure.
Sure.
I didn't. Never mind.
Okay. Silas, you recall overhearing in your time in Bryn Shander a tale about a mysterious woman who was at the east side and on her way to Lonelywood. There was a pair of retired adventurers who had helped this woman and gave them essentially gave her a nice bit of respite from the horrible winter that they were having at that time. But you know that's where that tale comes from. It's not really any big historical note. It's very much like a local little jingle, I guess.
I mean, Silas is absolutely intrigued, at least, by local stories and history, and we'll kind of take a sip of his wine. How is the wine, by the way?
It's a decent wine. You would probably think that it needs to be aerated a little bit more. It's a little bitter and heavy, but it's decent wine.
This is decent wine.
I'm glad.
Wow, he is maturing. Holy shit.
Well, you know, I have a lot to be thankful for as of late.
Andy gives him a pat on the shoulder. She's proud of him.
So, outside of finding a haunted cabin, what else is there to do around here? Do you think they'll let anyone in the mines? Because I wouldn't mind finding a few more gems.
I don't know about that.
Well, it never hurts to ask, or, yeah, ask for forgiveness later.
It's certainly worth a shot.
At the same time, a small break to study also sounds nice. I feel like I haven't challenged my mind in a while, and I'd love a way to expand it. Oh, did I drop?
No, I heard you.
Upon hearing you say that, Vega will nod and just kind of have a look on his face like, yes, quite.
I'm going to get up and go talk to the waitress about that song that she was humming.
Okay. What would you like to ask her about it?
Well, I'd like to get up and find her and approach kindly and tip my hat and say, "Evening, ma'am. I couldn't help but notice that little tune you were singing earlier. And I found it very interesting. Could you tell me a little bit more about it?"
Oh, well, you asked the right person, I suppose. It's a little ballad that was created here in town. My parents are actually the ones who took in this woman when she came, and she actually gave grandparents. She actually gave my grandparents this, and she moves her neck to the side and pulls on a chain and reveals what looks like a wooden ring that has this fur inline in the inside of the socket, and has a little nice pair of foxes as a jewel type of thing. She says, my grandparents tried to help that poor lady, and it was just, it was unsuccessful. I mean, we helped her all she could, but in the end, it was still her fate to meet the demise that she did.
Sounds like a sad tale.
Yeah, it's a little sad, but if not for sadness, what is happiness?
I suppose so. So, a local tale then, I take it?
Yes.
Passed on through your family?
Yes, it's been passed down for 2 generations now. Yeah, that's the origins of that little ballad. She just disappeared without a trace.
What was her name?
You know, I don't remember her name. I'd asked my father, he surely would know, but he has not been doing well.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too. I thank you all again for your generous patronage, and perhaps it would help us purchase the medicines needed if a trader happens to come by. But truly, the medicines from the south have run dry recently.
Is this conversation taking place where Andy can hear it?
You can go ahead and make a perception check to see if you can overhear.
That's a 14.
You kind of miss out on the first part, but you kind of gain a little bit of insight into the conversation when she mentions her bedridden father.
Andy will get up and go over and say, "Did you say someone is sick? Pardon me for overhearing, but I'm a cleric. Maybe I could help."
Well, if that's something you can do, that would be amazing. He's fallen quite ill as of late, and he's been consistently running a fever routinely, but he's so weak he cannot push himself out of bed.
I'd be happy to take a look.
1 second. She says, well, after you finish your drinks, you can follow me into the back room, and you can have a look and see what you can do.
Andy will nod, and she'll say, "I'll go ahead now, and my drink will wait."
Okay.
And I will join them.
Sure. Just 1 second. And she puts down drinks that had been ordered and serves them up and motions over to you to follow her, and she walks down the hallway and over to the left and opens up the back bedroom, and there you see her father, who looks quite ill, laying in bed, seemingly unconscious or sleeping at this time. And she whispers, he's been like this for a few weeks now, and I'm afraid the medicines, even if we did get them, may not be able to help. The man looks to be in his late 50s, early 60s, around there. You see around this room that it's decorated with different fish that have been mounted, a plethora of fishing tackle strewn about the room. But you see the man kind of struggling to breathe, and
Andy will
labored breathing,
cast
rather.
lesser restoration on him.
Okay. Let's see. So as you cast your lesser restoration, you see his breathing is still labored, in the sense it looks like he has a little bit of relief. It seems to be coming a little easier, but it still, unfortunately, looks to be a long-term issue with his bodily organs. But as you start to cast, you see that his color turns from a brighter red to a more normalized skin tone of his shade of pink, as it looks like he's significantly cooled down a bit.
By examining him, does it look as though like he's simply his age is coming for him?
Go ahead and make a medicine check. Lysander, make another perception check.
Ugh, that's only an 11. I rolled a 4.
That's a 21.
Andy, you start to inspect a little bit more closely to see if there's anything you can do, and particularly for his labored breathing. And then you hear Lysander discovering something as he looks over at one of the nightstands, and you see Lysander. You see a collection of pipes with what looks like a bag of tobacco of some sort, and you can determine this is a long-term smoker, and he seems to be having some breathing issues just from his days smoking away on the pipe.
I'm going to nudge Andy a bit and just kind of motion towards the pipe.
Andy will look over, and when she sees the pipe, she kind of nods a little. And then she's gonna step out of the room to say something to the daughter.
Okay.
His fever seems to have eased a bit. He seems to be breathing a little better, but I'm afraid it's not something I can cure. Seems to be his lungs, and years of a pipe can do that to somebody.
Yeah, he loved his pipes. He would take them with him fishing and be out all day. And some days I feel like he'd go through half a bag of his tobacco. But thank you for taking a look at him. He looks better.
Yeah, I think that's
than
the
just
fever. I
fit.
think the fever's down, but and I can, while we're here, I'm happy to do that again if it comes back.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Is the man conscious at this point?
No, he is still unconscious, but it looks like he's more at rest than he was before, so he's a little bit more comfortable now.
Okay. Since I'm still in the room with him, I would like to take a look around while I'm in there, look at the fish, see if there's anything unusual.
Sure, go ahead and give me an investigation check this time.
That's an 11.
You take a look at all the fish, and they're pretty nice fish. There's a few very well-sized knucklehead trout that have been mounted, a few more toothy fish that are normal to the area that are of good size. You don't see anything that might be out of place for a fisherman's bedroom.
Any books or journals laying around?
There's a handful of books. It looks like there might be one book that looks like a journal.
While they're still outside, I would like to kind of flip through the pages of that real quick.
Sure. You open up the journal and you take a look, and it looks to be a collection of locations, fishing spots, and types of bait that were successful. It looks to be just a fishing logbook of sorts.
Okay. Anything of note that I can retain as far as fishing information and bait goes?
Sure. Knucklehead in the summertime enjoy cheese. Location-wise, you see a lot of consistent places being at the mouths of streams that lead into lakes. That seems to be a reoccurring location that's mentioned in these journals. And other than that, you do come across one entry where instead of depicting the location and bait and stuff, you see a description of some sort of creature that's described as a lizard, snake, centipede type of thing that seems to exude steam that he had encountered from afar one day. And you know that was in Let's see. That was in Lake Myrtle, this lake that this city is created on the north side, away from the city itself. If you would like to make a nature check, we can see if you can piece together what creature that was.
All right. That's a 12.
12. You can't say that you've come across a creature that was described in this way, but you do take good notes on what exactly this creature looks like, or how it was verbally described anyway.
Okay. I'm going to close it and put it back and step outside with Andy and the waitress. I haven't got her name yet, I don't think.
Marta.
Marta. Thank you. Now I'll close the door behind me and say, well, he may not be cured, but he's looking a little better.
Yeah, he does look a little better, and I thank you so much. I don't think there's any, other than giving you a free room for you and your companions tonight.
Oh, that's not necessary. I don't do this for money.
Thank you and your kind soul.
Of course.
If there's any medicine in particular that you're looking for, we can certainly try to keep an eye out on our travels.
The one in particular that we're looking for is warg root. When combined into a pulp, it has a very strong aroma, and we've been kind of applying it on his chest and under his nostrils to ease his breathing. If you come across anything like that, it's native in the south, but like I said, the chances are quite slim.
We'll keep an eye out anyway.
And thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah. One last question. I'm very intrigued by your tale, and I'm always down to hear about local lore and legends and the like. Do you happen to know where this mystery woman disappeared to?
Well, quite frankly, I don't quite believe the part of the tale of where she went. I think she just disappeared into the wind, and it's... I guess I'll explain it a little further. So when the woman arrived, she was taken in by my grandparents, and supposedly they were attacked by the wind. It had burst down the doors and burst through the windows, and it was... They say that she was taken by the wind, but I believe that means that she left. But my parents seem to believe that she was actually killed by the wind and vanished into thin air.
I see. That does make for quite a tale indeed.
Yeah, and well, you know what they say about fishermen. They always embellish their tales, and I chose to believe this was just another one of them.
I understand. I always like to spin a yarn every now and again myself, picking them up along the way.
Sure. Who doesn't? What else do we have to spin but yarn, you know?
Indeed. I will tip my hat to her, say thank you kindly, ma'am. I'll let you get back to your evening.
Well, thank you. I can't thank you enough, honestly. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Very welcome.
And
Andy
you
will
guys
follow him.
take your leave and return back to the tavern.
And I would like to walk up to Vega and ask him a couple questions once we get settled back into our tables.
Yeah, easy enough.
So, just had a interesting conversation with Marta, and her father wasn't conscious enough to speak, but I had a couple questions for you. One, do you happen to know where one would locate some ward root, or do you happen to have any on you just in happenstance?
Ooh. Sam, would I happen to have any on me or know where to find any?
So you should make a nature check to see if you know where to find any.
Wunderbar. No, that's a 7.
Okay. And then I then would like you to roll a percentile dice.
Okay. When there's the 2 zeros on the tens place, that literally means 0
Yes.
for the tens, right? Okay, then I got 6.
So you look to Lysander, and you unfortunately don't know exactly where to find Wargroot, but then you have a little bit of a eye-opening thought, and then you thought, wait, it's right here in my pocket.
Fuck yeah. I don't remember exactly where it tends to grow, but hold on. Seems a small piece has grown in my pocket. I forgot I had this. Yeah, I do have some.
Well, the young lady's father could certainly use it right now. And she's having a hard time coming by it for medicine.
Of course, yeah, it would be hard to find in this region, in this climate. Absolutely, I will bring this to her.
I'm sure she'd be much obliged.
You said there were a couple things. Was there something else you wanted to ask me before I do?
Well, would you happen to know of any creature that looks like a snake and a lizard and a centipede? Water-born creature?
Go ahead and make a
swelling.
nature check.
Nature? Yeah, okay. Um, 11.
You don't entirely have a lot of insight into what this creature could be, but you do get the idea that if it's something that's found in the water, maybe best ask a fisherman.
You know, that's nothing that I've ever come across. I don't spend a lot of time on the water. Might be something a local fisherman might know something about, though.
Well, if we can get the old man awake, then maybe we should. He had a journal lying on his desk, and he mentioned encountering a strange creature on the water in Lake Myrtle. I never heard of anything like this before.
Well, if he comes around, I don't know if I'd ask him about it, because some people don't take kindly to their journals being read without their consent. But there's other fishermen around here. One of them might know something about it, if you just ask them.
It was just there, man.
I'm not saying I have a problem with you reading it. I'm just saying he might. You never know.
I think he'd be a little more willing to divulge a little information if we're going to help him out.
I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying to avoid awkwardness. That's all. there's other fishermen. That's all I'm saying.
Well, how about you give the kind lady the ward route, and we'll see what we can find out.
Absolutely.
Because after getting a little more information from her tale, I would like to learn more about this strange woman that was whisked away by the wind. And her father might have some information on that.
It does sound like an interesting tale. Let's go see what we can do. And I'll stand up and start walking over to her.
Andy keeps her mouth shut, but she looks mildly concerned about this.
So you approach Marta, and she says, "Oh, is there something else I can get you?"
No, but I think there might be something that I can get for you. Here, I hope this can help your father, and I'll hand her the ward route.
You just happen to have this on you.
Yeah, it's a druid thing.
What stroke of fortune? This will definitely help. Now I can prepare it myself. No need to have you do it by any means. I've grown accustomed to this. Please. And she starts to unbuckle her necklace. And she says, I really want to give this to you.
Oh, you don't need to do that. That's completely unnecessary.
That's why I chose my wording. I don't need to, but I want to.
Why is that?
Well, you've paid well tonight. You've assisted my father without any recompense whatsoever, promised. I feel like I need to give this to you. And I want to give this to you.
This looks like something that's sentimental to you, though, is it not?
I don't know if I'd trade the sentimentality for extending the life of my father.
I'm going to push her hand back gently and say, tell you what, when he's awake and he comes around, you can indulge a strange man such as myself with his old fishing stories. That would be enough.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Hey, what do you know? You do know what to say. And you're very, very welcome. Think nothing of it.
How about we come around in the morning and talk over a cup of coffee?
Sure. Absolutely.
Very good.
Sam, above table, does this tavern have rooms, or does only the inn have rooms?
The tavern does have rooms, but if you want a more bed and breakfast kind of experience, you would go to the inn.
You know, that does sound lovely, actually. Okay, then I won't mention rooms to her or anything.
Yep. And I'll just tip my hat to her and take my seat back.
Okay. And she thanks you profusely and heads off to the back room, presumably to start getting the root ground up and all that good stuff. After a few minutes, there's a very pungent smell in the air. It smells like Vicks Vapor Rub. But then she returns after a while to resume her duties manning the bar.
Find anything of interest?
maybe. That has yet to be determined, I suppose. But it feels good to do good sometimes.
I would have to agree with you, believe it or not.
I could believe it.
So, as the night starts to grow and becomes darker outside as the sun is fully set and stars have come out for a brief moment before being obscured by overcast clouds again. Is there anything else you guys would like to do before retiring to your rooms? Or going and heading over to the inn?
Zizix, are you talking to me now?
I don't know. That depends on what you want.
I want nothing, but I think I might be able to help you. You're one that is, well, you have an interest in arcane items, as I recall.
Maybe.
Well, I got this scroll a little while ago, and it possesses something that I can already do with my loot, at least once a night, and I was curious if you might have an interest or need for such a thing. And I'll pull out my scroll of invisibility and slip it over to him.
Sure. I'll take a look.
Like I said, if you could use it for something to increase your own abilities, wonderful. If not, it can go to anyone in the party. I'll even take it back if you think it's best with me, but I figure why not share in some of the opportunity it could provide for us.
Zizix is gonna poke Silas, like in the leg, just a couple of times. What's wrong with you?
Nothing is wrong with me.
Okay. And Zizix is gonna be look at him very suspiciously.
I haven't lied to you all before. I'm not lying to you now.
Well, I'll take a look at this and see what I can do.
Wonderful. And I'll remove that from my inventory so you can add it to yours if needed.
All right. Anything else? What about you, Armand? Oh, his mic's disconnected for some reason. Gotcha. Right. That explains that. Anything else you guys would like to do for making a decision on where to sleep tonight?
Is there anything I could do in town to kind of challenge my mind, play some dragon chess, or maybe challenge my wisdom of some kind?
Sure. There is some people here in the tavern playing dragon chess.
Oh, I absolutely want to play a game.
And you make your way over to the players, and they look to be a couple of fishermen kind of observing this game, and you see a couple of looks like maybe coal miners or just miners in general partaking in a game. Go ahead and make an insight check.
That would be a 16.
As you start to take a look at the ongoing game, you make note that the person who is playing black is a couple of moves from winning. However, it doesn't seem like that he's noticed it.
I'll observe silently and give them both a nod and simply hope that my presence shows them that I wouldn't mind playing next.
Sure. And as you wait this game out, let's see. By no fault of his own, Black actually stumbles in to his winning moves and finishes the game within a few minutes and looks quite happy with his victory and reaches over and grabs a small stack of silver, and the onlookers, they kind of groan as you see that they've actually put bets on white in this game. And Black looks over to you and he says, do you feel yourself up for a challenge?
Oh, I absolutely do if you're accepting challenges.
Oh, absolutely. The buy-in is 5 silver.
Very well, and I'll throw down a gold.
Up in the ante just because I came into some winnings, I see.
No, you can buy in at 5 silver. I just simply want to make it worth your while.
I see. Well, please, take a seat.
Very well.
So as the chess pieces are reassembled, you are playing white and you would go first. Go ahead and make a intelligence check, and we'll see how the first part of the game goes.
22.
22. So having watched him for a short amount of time, you were able to observe which formations he likes to take on the board and a little bit into his play style, and you find yourself having an upper hand early on in the game. You had a couple of close calls to victory, but he was able to weasel himself out of those situations. Go ahead and make this one an insight check to see how he's going to try to recover.
12. The dance of the muskrat. A fine strategy.
And he looks to you obviously a little blank, and he's like, I'm not familiar with the muskrat strategy. Is that something that you've done?
I've had it performed to me before, and it's fine. It's a great strategy.
And with your successful insight roll, you're able to lure him into a trap, and you're able to checkmate his dragon.
A fine match.
You know, I think you might be someone who can challenge our champion here in town.
Oh, now that sounds incredibly intriguing.
Well, if you're around here tomorrow night, you can enter a little bit of an exhibition with Agatha.
Agatha. That sounds wonderful. I may have a job, but I will certainly try my best to be here for it.
Well, she gets out of school at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
To it. School, you say?
Yeah, she's only 9 years old.
A young mind hasn't learned any bad strategies. I look forward to the challenge. Thank you. And I'm sorry, I did not get your name.
You can call me Michael.
Michael, thank you for being a wonderful opponent. And I'll scoop back up my gold and let him keep his silver.
He says, well, I've learned a thing or two, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, for the love of the game.
So,
And I'll return to the table and I'll sit down and says, so I know we have a job to do, but I got an invitation to absolutely destroy a 9-year-old in Dragon Chest tomorrow. Do you think we're going to have time for this?
I'm sorry. You want to destroy a 9-year-old in Dragon Chess?
It's not necessarily the fact that she's 9 years old, it's more that she's the champion, and I feel like humbling them at a young age.
Well, I mean, if we're here, you might as well play, but you should be nice, Silas.
No, I wasn't going to be too mean. I was just going to embarrass
Little
them.
girl. No, don't embarrass her.
Fine. I'll only use 40% of my knowledge of the game.
She might surprise you, you know.
And I certainly hope she does.
Okay.
Have any of you played Dragon Chess before?
I have.
Yeah, I played once or twice.
Oh yeah, it's been a while, but I've always enjoyed it.
My father was a stickler for it. He said it was a necessity for any battle strategist to know Dragon's Chess.
Wonderful for battle strategy, wonderful for dignitaries. It always said in college that it unites kings and peasants.
That is true.
Of course, the real strategy goes with the Gathering, but I don't know if anyone here plays the Gathering.
Never heard of it.
No, it's a magical game.
So it just so happens that the individuals playing Dragon's Chess have up and left, and the board is available if anyone would like to partake tonight.
So, Silas, you up for a game? Might as
With
well
you,
sharpen your skills if you're going to beat a 9-year-old in the morning.
well, when you say it like that, very well, I'll gladly play you.
Alright, just don't be too disappointed if you lose.
Oh, I will never truly recover.
All right. So as you guys get the pieces set, I would like you both to make intelligence checks.
And Zillis is going to go up and watch really closely.
I got a 7.
A natural 1 for 5.
In a bumbling opening, a lot of unnecessary pieces were lost. There were some open checks that were missed, and seeing them in hindsight has caused you both to be a little flustered a little bit. So I would like to, let's see. Andy being on the upper hand, I would like you to make either another intelligence check or a deception check.
Sure. Not for nothing, I am proficient in Dragon Chess, so I don't know if that changes things.
Oh, let's see. Have you been adding your proficiency to it?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, you would be adding your proficiency bonus to that.
Oh, my mistake.
No worries.
Did you still need me to roll an intelligence check?
What was your roll with your
Wouldn't have
proficiency?
been, I think it would have been an 8, right? Because proficiency is +3.
Yes, it would have been an 8 at that point.
Okay,
Beaten
so-
me by
okay.
1.
So, still pretty much an even match for the most part, with a little bit of an upper hand sliding in that direction. But I'll leave the choice still to an intelligence versus deception for Andy.
Ooh, 19 intelligence.
Okay. And then Silas, you can make an insight or intelligence as well.
Damn, I wish I could have done insight.
I'll do the intelligence.
Okay.
So with the proficiency bonus. $14.
So even though the first part of the game was evenly matched, things have turned into the favor of Andy for a short while. But you feel compelled to make a strong push for the end game here and try to catch Andy by surprise. So I'll leave you to making a deception or an intelligence check.
13
Silas.
on deception.
Okay. Andy, you can make insight or intelligence against that.
That's 13 insight.
Wait, what was your deception?
Mine was 13 as well.
Yeah, we both got 13s.
A 2
Okay.
plus 11.
I got a 6.7.
So, in this case, you find yourselves dwindling down to your final pieces, but Silas is able to just barely corner one of the last remaining pieces of Andy, leaving both dragons on the table and declaring this game a draw.
You are a wonderful opponent.
As are you.
It was fun. I haven't had fun in quite a while.
Yeah, that game was always like a chore for me growing up, but it's not so bad now.
Zizix, did you want to face one of us?
You know, you could have had her 10 moves ago.
No, yes, a bit distracted.
Sure, why not?
Who would you like to face?
Doesn't matter to me.
Go ahead, Silas. You're the one that needs the practice.
Very well. Take your seat, Zizix. I look forward to facing you.
And Zizix is going to have the most fierce face he's ever had, or Silas has probably ever witnessed.
A new challenger approaches. Zizix in a silhouette before he sits down at the table and becomes visible as you realize you've unlocked Chess Zizix.
Let's see, the gnomish raid strategy.
All right. So with Zizix taking the seat and sitting across from you, a number of people have also started taking watch over the game as well. With all the commotion from the first one, I would like you both to make dueling intelligence checks.
Ten.
With your proficiency?
With my proficiency, I just made a skill for Dragon Chess.
Yeah, 14 for Zizix.
Okay, so Zizix comes out strong with a very good counter to your opening, giving him the early advantage. So, Silas, because you were behind, as that's precedent that I've set, you can either make a deception to lure him into a trap or try to outmaneuver him by the book with an intelligence check.
I'm going to stay by the book this time.
Okay.
$18 probably won't go in my favor.
Okay. Zizix, you can either try to stick by the book as well, or you can try to read into his play with an insight check.
Yeah, just straight intelligence. And it's a 16 for me.
16, and then, sorry, I forgot what you rolled, Silas.
I believe it was 18, but I'm checking the log. Yes, 18.
18. So you're able to finesse your way out of your early bumbles, and you're able to be pretty evenly matched now as it comes down to the last part of this game. Zizix, if you would like to continue playing by the book, intelligence roll, or you can try and set your own sort of deception towards the end.
Uh, 16.
Okay. And then insider intelligence for Silas.
Natural 20 plus 7, 27.
Can I use a luck point?
I think those are on your rolls only if you would like to try to re-roll yours.
Well, if it's on mine only, then I wouldn't be able to match it anyways.
So with that, Silas is able to outmaneuver Zizix towards the end, as he's just recently had a game come down to the very tail end of available pieces, and he perseveres, and Zizix, you find yourself in a corner and checkmated. Your dragon is under siege.
A wonderful game.
Yeah, I liked what you did there. That's a good move.
Oh, thank you. I used to play with Rosalind all the time.
Who?
Oh, sorry. It's just someone from home.
And he kind of smiles at Silas, a little sad-like.
Well, good luck with the little girl.
When you say it like that, it sounds terrible. But thank
Say
you.
it like what?
Andy's gonna just cringe and say, I think the more you discuss it, the worse it'll sound.
I mean,
It's okay. I'm
they said
going
she
to
was
pretend
mine,
she's a
right?
gnome.
I know.
Yes, it gets me over the fact that I'm facing a child. I mean that in all due respect. Gnomes are some of the wisest Dragon Chess players I've ever faced off against. You are a testament to it.
I don't know what to think of that.
I assure you, I don't mean anything bad by it. It's been an observation. Gnomes and elves, very good at Dragon Chess.
Well, they'd want to be. I think they created it. Anywho, I'm gonna go and study the scroll.
Wonderful. I hope it brings you a lot of knowledge.
Won't know until I find out.
Vega, are you up for a game?
Oh, I don't see why not.
All right.
Did you want to face me or Andy?
I'll look to Andy and see if she has any desire to play showing
Maybe
on her
she
face.
Drugs. She's content watching.
Well, I suppose you're the one who's got a big match to practice for tomorrow, so I'll go against you there, bud.
Wonderful. I'm very excited to face you.
All right. As Vega takes his seat at the table, you guys square off, and I'd like you guys to make opening intelligence checks.
$21.
7.
In a quick fashion, Silas is able to checkmate Vega after beating his check by over 15. The game is over.
Yeah, that checks out.
You played sportingly.
Hey, I told you it'd been a while. And I haven't been standing over here watching, so God, I need to get my mind back in this game.
Well, it wasn't all bad. You almost had me for a moment.
Oh no, it's you don't have to patronize me. I appreciate it, but no,
Thank goodness.
not everyone has to be good at everything, and I haven't played this in years, so clearly I'm not. It's fine. I'm
Clearly,
really not bothered by it.
it was an absolute thrashing.
Yes, and hopefully when you face the little girl tomorrow, you can destroy her as equally.
Oh, I hope so.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go see if they have a library so I can read a book about Dragon's Chest and feel less bad about myself. I'm just gonna walk away.
Well, Silas, you destroyed Vega's hopes of ever becoming a true Dragon chess player that he's resorted to books.
When Vega turns to the books, you know it's a day that ends in Y.
A third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate chess.
He would destroy you in Yu-Gi-Oh, though.
Ha! You've activated my trap card.
That might have to be a different stream.
Oh, that'd be a hell of a stream.
Jar of Greed! Anyway.
God, I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh since middle school.
I miss it every day, legit.
That's what I started playing when my mom told me Pokemon was evil. But she didn't know what Yu-Gi-Oh was, so it was fine.
Man, I had a deck that had like 2 or 3 man-eater bugs. Those were my favorite.
Hell yeah.
I've been rewatching the anime, but in Japanese this time, so it's
Cultured.
like a oh yeah.
Far more cultured.
It's weird. I'm in Battle City, and Kaiba keeps calling Joey a scrub, so it's just like, oh, well, this is absolutely a product of the times.
Hell yeah.
Man. So, anyone else would like to participate in this game of Dragon Chess against anybody? Table's pretty much open, and I'm sure Silas is open to more challengers.
Nope, I'm good.
Vega actually is going to go look for a library and try and find books about Dragon's Chest now.
Unfortunately, in Tourmaline, no libraries here. Except for the one in the school, if you would like to try to sneak into the school.
What time of day is it?
It's probably like 8 o'clock at night, roughly.
Yeah, I'm probably going to pass on that.
You sure? Sneaky, sneaky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If there's one thing Vega's great at,
You
it's
want to be
sneaking.
the guy sneaking into a school.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can change it
Definitely
to
not.
just a normal rat, you know.
Well, that's true, but not for a book on chess. It's fine. If we're around in the morning, I might ask somebody if there is one I could get from the school.
All right, very well. All right, what would you guys like to do if you are done with chess?
Zizix is going to his room and study the scroll.
Okay.
Yeah, Vega's just gonna find somewhere to sit, nice quiet corner, and keep reading about Duragar.
Okay.
No one has a book about Dragon's Chess.
So we're waiting till morning to go to the cabin, correct?
I would assume.
In that case, Andy's gonna just square away a room and get to bed.
Okay.
Silas would do the same.
Solo eclipse.
All right. The rooms for the night are 4 silver apiece, so 32 silver total if you want individual rooms. If you're grouping up in the usual manner, I think you usually do 2 to a room, so 16.
Silas will cover everyone getting a room.
Oh, thanks, Silas.
That would be 4 gold.
And very appreciative of the tip.
Yes, well, you know, we need to help one another, and I find myself in a fortunate position today.
And with that, everyone, anything you want to do in the solitudes of your rooms? I know Zizix wants to look over the scroll. Anything in particular other than, like, identifying, or...
Brandy.
Is he away? Zizix.
Sorry, I'm here.
Oh, is there anything in particular you wanted to do with the scroll?
Yeah, just kind of study it.
Okay.
See if I can like learn how to maybe imbue it into a magical item or something.
I see. Okay. We'll go off of your passive intelligence for that since it's plenty high. Andy, did you say you wanted to do something?
Nope, she's heading to bed.
Okay. Anybody else? Let's give Vega an intelligence check for his Duragar research.
Not 20. So you said check 22.
Okay. So you know that Duragar live in the Underdark. They do not enjoy sunlight whatsoever. They are very much akin to vampires in that way. Not that they are damaged by sunlight, but which they would rather it be darkness. Which you start to draw some interesting thought lines, especially with that high of a check. If Auril is trying to create an everlasting winter, the Duragar have tried to capitalize on this situation. They're well aware that these days have become increasingly shorter and shorter as time goes on. So your mind starts to wonder whether there's a correlation there or not. But as you continue doing your research, you see that Duragar have the ability to make themselves huge, which you have seen firsthand before. And you know that rage that they instill upon themselves does not leave until they are pretty much unconscious or in a very long battle. But that's the gist of what you pick up on.
Okay. So kind of like vampires thriving in Alaska sort of scenario here.
Yeah, similar.
Less
to that.
daylight, more time to thrive. Right on.
And anybody else? Things they want to do at night?
No, just gonna wait till morning to talk to the old man.
Okay. Morning rolls around, and the old man is in one of the large leather chairs in the main dining area as you guys arise, and he steps up and stands up out of his chair, and he says, Marta tells me that you are the individuals who brought in the medicine, and took away the fever.
Andy smiles and says, I'm glad to see you up and feeling better.
Oh, well, I mustered up the strength to thank you myself. I surely appreciate everything that you've done for us, and just for no reason. The people that I've talked to this morning, they told me that there was a band of adventurers that were helping all the other 10 towns, but did not feel compelled to assist us in the Northwest, but I'm happy to see that that is not the case. I can only assume, as yourself being the only metal man I think running around up here, I do appreciate the help.
Well, happy to help, indeed. And yeah, I haven't seen any other middlemen running around these parts either, so... In any case. Yeah, so... Your daughter was singing a tune last night while she was working, and speaking of a woman that was whisked away by the wind...
Yes, my parents had taken in a poor woman that was estranged by the inclement weather, it seemed, at the time. I was, about a sparkle in my dad's eye, but, he's told me the tale a number of times.
Well, what can you tell me about it? I'd like to hear, I say as I pull up a chair.
And he reciprocates and sits back in his chair as well, and he says, well, this traveling woman, her name was Aura, she had come into town and was very chilled to the bone, as you would say, and they were able to help her out, and she spoke of a plight of an unknown thing chasing her down and trying to whisk her away, and they initially believed it to be, the work of either witches in the hillsides, or perhaps some curse with the demon or devil, and they decided to help her, but just one fateful night, not long after she arrived, the weather had found its way here, and they said it bust down the door and bust through the window and took her, and she, quite frankly, just disappeared out of thin air. And there's no telling where Aura have gone. But this ring that she gave my parents for their hospitality was to keep them warm in efforts to thank them for their hospitality, that if the weather did follow them, that they would go by unharmed. And luckily my mother was wearing that ring, and did not have too much of a scuff on her, but my father, unfortunately, he had lost one of his toes to frostbite. Just from that glancing wind that has come through, and that was always his proof. His proof that what she was saying was true, that the tale was real.
I see. And this was your father, correct?
Yes, rest his soul.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, your daughter mentioned that this tale had been passed around, or passed down, I should say, through 2 generations. So, do you believe your father about this story?
Well, it wasn't so much just believing my father, but, it's one of those things where, fishermen tell tall tales, but with my mother and father both saying the same story, it's hard to discount it. This is before I was born. If I was there to witness it, I could account for it, but...
Sure. I mean, who's to say that it's not true? Stranger things have happened, indeed. So, did she seem, by your father's tale, like she was running from something? You said that the weather kind of followed her here, or to the house, rather, when they took her in, and then the wind burst down the door and the windows and took her away. What do you make of that? What did your father make of that?
It was something that just eluded us in its true meaning. That weather hadn't returned. I hadn't felt a cold like that since the cold that is present now. It's just, it's a mystery. And I think that's where it gets a lot of its shade of doubt cast upon it. Because there's not a whole lot of information about where she could have gone. But we know that she hasn't been around, and it's safe to assume that she's dead.
So these witches, or the curse of the devil or demon that may have been chasing her, or may have been responsible for her disappearance, what do you know about that?
No more than that. They were just wild darts thrown against the wall to see if maybe we could make any sense of it.
Right. And these witches on the hillside, do you know which hillside where they might be located?
It was... There were... Let's see now. Maybe some 30 years ago we had a bad strewn of witches, and I believe, if I recall correctly, there were some adventurers that had come by and had claimed that they had wiped the coven from the face, but lots have rumored that they had made their way south instead. These adventurers were capitalizing on discovering an abandoned coven home.
Abandoned, you say? Down south, huh?
Yes,
Do you know...
Sorry?
My apologies. Do you know what town that might be located in?
And he kind of leans back in his chair and kind of draws back, and he says, I assume it'd be around the north of Neverwinter, Port Lost, I think. There's rumored to be the location of where they had left, but we could never confirm any of those inquiries either.
I see. And though you were not awake last night, my cleric friend Andy and I did come in to see to you whenever your daughter brought us in. Noticed that you had a lot of fish mounted on the wall, a very impressive collection, I should say.
Ah, yes. Those are my finest catches. I had to fight off a number of people wanting to purchase it from me, and sorry, um, purchase those amounts from me, but they're my prized possessions, I would say.
Very fine indeed. You ever encounter anything strange among your fishing travels?
Oh yes, there was this beast that I had spotted, not too far from here. It was many years ago now, 15 maybe. There was this creature that I did not know what it was at the time, but it had a body like a snake, legs of a centipede, and what a monstrosity that was. I'd later come to find out they are called Remoraz.
A Ramaraz.
Yes, the local druid that had wandered in had also spotted a similar beast, and not sure if it's the same. But apparently they enjoy the colder climates because their body temperature is so warm. They, quite frankly, cool themselves off in these cold waters. They're extremely poisonous from what I hear.
Well, certainly would like to not encounter something such as that.
I would not make that assumption so quickly, as they are obviously very destructive. But thinking of it, something that size, warming the waters, that actually would not be the worst thing in the world for us. It would make ventures out on the water potentially a little more dangerous. But if we had Remoraz in our lakes, nothing would be frozen. The rivers would stream again.
I see.
It would surely
Well,
help us in trying to make ends meet and having enough food to go around.
so you're saying that this creature would be good for the local fishing environment?
I think so. If you were to carefully monitor where they live, if there was a slew of Remoraz, either 2 or maybe 3 per lake, I don't know exactly how many it would take, but open water is much more bountiful than frozen.
Right. That's really interesting to know. And, forgive me, I never got your name.
You can call me Lenny.
Nice to meet you, Lenny. I'm Lysander Blackburn.
It's nice to meet you, Lysander. Now, I will say it's easy for me to say that it would be better with Remoraz here because I would not be faring out into those waters and putting my life at risk but it makes sense to me, an old man.
Right. Well, maybe it's still out there. Who knows?
Perhaps, I imagine, if it's still alive, that our waters would be a little warmer, but who's to say? This cold is just unbearable.
That it is. Well, you've certainly given me a lot of food for thought, Lenny. But I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me this morning, and I'll let you back to your day. Fare thee well, and thank you again, as I tip my hat to him.
Thank you all. I appreciate the assistance, and I know Wargroot is hard to come by, and by the stroke of luck, a band of adventurers come by and had it on. Impeccable.
Well, we might find our way back here someday.
I hope you do.
Time will tell.
I had one question. You mentioned a ring that protected from the cold.
Yes.
Does your family still have that in their possession?
Yes, my daughter actually wears it around her neck.
I see. Okay, thank you very much. That's an above table. That's as soon as he said that, I was thinking, I bet that's what she tried to give me.
Aww.
Is she around? Is she in this room while we're talking, or?
Yeah, she is maintaining the bar and getting it ready.
Okay, I might try and walk up and talk to her one-on-one, if I could.
Yeah, what would you like to say?
Her name's Marta. Is that right?
Yes.
Excuse me, Marta. Do you have a moment?
Oh, of course. What can I do for you?
That thing you're wearing around your neck that you offered me last night.
Yes.
Do you mind if I take a look at it?
Oh, not at all. Is there something wrong?
No, absolutely not. I'm just curious about something.
And she takes it off her neck and pulls it off the chain and hands it to you.
I'm sorry, one second. I forget if I have identify or not. Shit, I don't.
Hello, Oswald. Good kitty.
Okay, once she hands it to me, I'm going to say, do you mind if I take this to my friend to ask him something about it? I will bring it right back.
Of course.
Thank you. I'll be back in a moment, and I'm going to go try and find Zizix.
I said, of course I would mind.
Oh, of course you would mind.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay. Funny.
Welcome to my life, everyone.
Marta, perhaps you could answer a question for me.
Yes, of course.
What can you tell me about the Titans of Tourmaline?
Sorry, what? What'd you say?
What can you tell me of the Titan of Tourmaline?
The Titan of Tourmaline, I'm afraid I'm drawing a blank.
Your Dragon Chess champion.
Oh. Agatha. She is impressive. That's the most that I can say is that she is impressive. She's written books.
Written books at 9 years old?
Yeah, and from what everyone has said, they're original, they are not copies. They're all on the insides of Dragon Chess, and
Am I still in earshot of all this?
yeah, sure.
I'm going to turn back around and say, do you know where I could get a copy of one of these books?
They're kept in the school library on display.
Do you know if there's anyone I could ask if I could buy a copy?
Well, I'm sure if you were to inquire, they might be for sale. Perhaps Agatha could use some coin herself. At 9
Yes,
years
wonderful.
old.
Wonderful. Of course she could. What 9-year-old could not?
Vega, perhaps I could win you a copy of the book.
That would be even better. If you want to work that into your game, I will let that happen. If not, I'll try and buy a copy later.
I'll certainly try. I'll do my best for all of you. I might not be able to join you on the mission, but I promise to bring glory to Saddle's Angels one way or another.
It's still not our name, but thank you. I appreciate that.
What is your group's name, if I may ask?
The caregivers, because it's better than Silas's angels.
No, I never agreed to that name.
Yeah, well,
We never.
everyone else did.
So.
Well, that name tracks.
Quite.
Killed my father for next to nothing. Anyway, is there anything else, Silas?
No, I suppose there's not. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to go practice.
Don't look into her eyes while you play.
What?
Don't look into her eyes.
Can I insight check this?
Sure.
That's a 14.
So you're not exactly sure of the meaning behind this, but you definitely color yourself intrigued.
A little brat probably uses magic.
It is quite magical, but I don't think it comes from a school of magic. She's just impeccable at reading. She knows your move by the way you look at her. It's an intangible.
I may have finally found a worthy opponent.
So, with that concluding, does anyone else have any questions for Lenny or Marta?
Not at the moment.
No.
All right, then what would you guys like to do?
Take our break.
Oh, yes, it is break time. Look at that. So, Vega, you're looking for Zizix, and he's easy to find. You only know him in the bar.
Right. Hey, Zizix.
Yes.
Could you possibly do me a favor and identify this for me?
I would just go ahead and cast Identify.
Yeah. You identify this as a ring of warmth. While wearing this ring, you have resistance to cold damage. In addition, you and everything you wear are unharmed by temperatures as low as minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh yeah, I know what that is. That's just a ring of warmth.
That's what I suspected. Okay. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
I will reapproach Marta once I have that information.
Mm-hmm. And she's cleaning off some mugs, getting them ready for the day.
And as I walk up to her, Marta,
Yes.
this ring that you offered me, I didn't realize what it was at the time, and I didn't want to take it from you in case it was something sentimental. But knowing what it is and what we're about to face, it could actually be very beneficial. Can I take you up on your previous offer with the condition that I return it to you when we are done with our mission?
Oh, what's your mission?
Well, there are several things to our mission, but a large part of it is trying to do whatever we can to end this endless winter. And that could take us to some very harrowing and very cold places.
I would say so. Absolutely. Please take it.
I promise you I will return it.
The promise is kept. Thank you.
Thank you.
And she goes back about her duties and puts the chain back on her neck and continues cleaning mugs and getting the tavern ready for the night.
Well, shall we head out then?
To where?
See if we can find this haunted cabin.
Very good. Let's turn the music back on. So, as you guys start to leave this tavern and say goodbye to the Blue Clam, you guys refer to Lex map as you try to triangulate your positions on where, in fact, you would like to break from the path and try to locate this black cabin. You venture out into the inclement weather, and whoever is leading the way, make a survival check.
Is that going to be you, Vega, or you want me to?
I'm on it.
I can help.
Wonderful, thank you. $21.
21.
Blackjack.
Yeah. So, you guys are venturing out, and you follow the path all the way to follow the path on the way to Lonely Wood, and then at a distance you see the forest of Lonely Wood. You start to Vega. You make the inferring thought that perhaps if you were to skirt the forest on the perimeter, you might come across the cabin sooner rather than later. Is that something that you would like to do, or would you like to venture through the forest to find the cabin? It was noted that the cabin was outside of the forest.
I will make the suggestion to the party and see what they think.
Okay.
I guess I can word it the way Vega would say it then.
Yeah.
So, guys, I know that this cabin supposedly is on the outskirts of the forest, so I'm thinking if we skirt the forest, we might find it quicker than going through.
That's probably a good idea.
The sooner the better.
Well, let us try that then.
Okay. Let's make some rolls as you start to make way. All right. Oops. You dropped a dice. No, cat. That is not a toy. Anything drops from me, and Gale is just first to pounce.
Bastard.
Good kitty. He's a good kitty. All right.
Stole my cheese stick.
It was a
Not
good
a
cheese
good kitty.
stick. It was a good cheese stick, Miranda. So, venturing your way through the wilderness on the outskirts of the forest, you don't find anything as you start to maneuver to the north, and the perimeter of the forest takes you to the northwest just slightly and curves around, and then you see it at a distance. It's a very small cabin that looks to be wooden, but it looks like there's definite aging, decomposition to it. It looks like some of the outer planes of board have been blackened with time. But in any case, You get an odd feeling looking into this very secluded cabin. Let's see. You see perched on the edge of a snowy ridge above a gorge as you exit from the perimeter of the forest, a black lodge on wooden stilts. Whatever path might have led to this ramshackle retreat lies buried under snow, and icy steps climb to a snow-covered walkway that clings to the south side of the structure. The building's slumped posture and sagging snow-covered roof, coupled with the broken windows and loose flapping shutters, suggests utter abandonment. Large snowdrifts are huddled around the rotting stilts, and they seem to be engulfing a nearby woodshed and outhouse. This big, giant pile of snow. And it seems that only wind visits this sinister place. What would you guys like to do?
You said there's a woodshed and an outhouse outside of it?
Yeah, heavily obscured in just piles of snow.
Okay. That might be worth checking out on our way out. Not so much right now. I'll kind of look to the party. Just kind of say, shall we?
May we?
You can.
I don't speak whatever language that was.
French.
I know that. Vega doesn't.
Christ.
I said, may we?
May we? Yes.
May we?
Amazing.
Yes, May. Yes, May. It's not May.
I'm gonna walk up.
Jesus Christ.
I'm walking up to the door.
Fine.
Hold on, I want to try and devolve this conversation further.
No.
Literally just by saying what I just said. So we're good. Let's go.
So, as you make your way up to this cabin, there is a wooden walkway that leads up to the front door. As you take your first steps, Lysander, you notice that each step of the way seems to be very rickety and covered in snow and slick. And as you start to come across and turn a corner on this path, on this wooden pathway up to the front door, you see that there is a 4-foot wide gap in the walkway. So let's see. It looks easy enough to hop over without any issue. So what would you guys like to do, seeing this gap in the floor?
Yeah, I'll hop over it.
Okay. And Lysander hops over just fine. Is everyone else following suit?
Yes.
All right. Lysander walks over. Zizix walk over. Andy walks over. Vega, as you follow suit, you feel a cracking beneath you as you feel the floorboard of this walkway start to give way. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Of course you do. That's my favorite saving throw to make. Six.
You start to plummet through the floor.
I would like to turn into a cat and try and grab onto the edge and pull myself up.
If you do that, I will give you a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage because you are trying to shapeshift while react.
At disadvantage? Okay, then never mind.
I mean, it's better than falling.
I mean, I guess. And I wouldn't know how far down this goes either.
You can get about 20 feet.
Oh, shit.
You can see below.
Well, I don't like my chances on making my worst saving throw at disadvantage. So, I'm just gonna try to grab on as I'm falling to the edge.
Yep, go ahead and make your dex save at disadvantage.
Still? Still disadvantage even though I'm not shapeshifting?
Because you've already failed your initial one, I'm giving
Yeah,
you
yeah,
a
that
very,
makes
very
sense.
lenient
That makes
opportunity
sense.
here.
Okay. Alright, well, first one was 14. And a 19, so 14!
So your initial dex save, you fall through, and you land in a pile of snow, and you take only 1 point of bludgeoning damage from landing in the cushioned fall. However, because your fall was so awkward, you start to slide. As the momentum of your fall has carried you to the very edge of this gorge this cabin sits upon. And you get a glance down below, and it looks to be 140-foot drop. And you manage to grab on just barely and prevent yourself from falling off this cliff.
Jesus Christ. Okay, once I get back up...
You will make a strength check to get back up.
Okay. That I can do.
Can anyone assist him with that?
He is 20 foot down on the ground at this point. You guys are separated.
Okay.
Unless you have a
Is he
rope
like-
or anything.
Is he standing?
He is prone.
Yeah, I would throw a rope down to him.
I'm gonna throw a potion down to him.
Okay, go ahead and make a dexterity check.
Me to catch it?
No, Zizix to throw it.
Thank God.
I'm gonna just use a luck point on that.
Okay.
Jesus. Can I take my first roll?
No, you have to use the second roll.
Well, that's a nat 1. I don't even know why I have lucky as a feat. Like, seriously.
So you try to hurl the potion, but in a hastily to see the direness of the situation that Vega finds himself in, you actually lose grasp of the potion before you wind up, like a quarterback fumbling the ball before he throws, and it crashes down onto the wood plank at your feet and dissolves. It's not an acid potion, is it?
No. It's a potion of flat, so technically, I guess if he grabbed a hold of that, could he use it to surfboard his way up?
No, unfortunately not. As the potion had broken at your feet, and he's slidden a ways away from directly below you at this point. Lysander, I heard you were going to try and throw a rope, so please make a dexterity check for that.
Can do. That is an 18.
Okay, an 18. Cat, that's enough. So you're able to cast the rope out, and Vega, it lands just within reach of you.
Wonderful. I will grab it.
Okay. Give you a strength check at disadvantage, advantage to pull yourself up and off this ledge.
He's in cat form, right?
I haven't changed yet.
He did not change.
Then I will yell down, turn into a monkey or something.
Yeah, alright. I'll turn into some sort of snow monkey, like I did when we were mountain climbing.
Then we will just make this, instead of a strength, a dexterity check. So you would have a plus 3, I believe, to dexterity.
Wonderful. It's actually what I had to strength as myself, which is funny. But that's a nat 20, so 23.
Very nice. So you're able to grasp the rope and start to pull yourself from this ledge that you found yourself on. In Lysander, with the pull of the rope, you feel the wood below your feet start to creak just a little bit. It seems like this side of the walkway is very unstable at this point. And any over exertion of the boards below could result in a similar fall. But Vega, you are able to be retrieved just fine.
Wonderful.
So, are you remaining a monkey?
For now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's safer than an elephant walking across this thing.
So Lek, Silas make their way over the hole in the floor. Eclipse, you make that just fine as well. And with everyone aware of how dangerous a fall this could have been, I believe everyone is taking their time and spreading themselves out, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And after another 10 feet of travel past the hole, you find yourself in front of a door on your right to this cabin. Would you guys like to go in?
Shall we not?
Yeah, I mean, we're here. Surely then, if anyone's inside, they'd know we're here already.
All right. You open up the door and you see inside. You see that frost covers every surface of this abandoned workshop. You see a set of workbenches over on the side with maybe some tools strewn about. There's a bookcase up against the north wall that you actually hear some movement coming towards. I would like everyone to make a perception check.
$15 for Lysander.
11 for Andy.
Okay.
That'd be my third nat 20 of the night, so 24.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I couldn't have gotten it on my dex check, though.
No, I guess you couldn't.
9 for sticks.
All right. So it sounds like everybody except for Zizix. You notice against that bookcase on the north wall, there's a family of squirrels that have started to move and run from the sounds that you guys have made as they run up the bookcase, up the wall, and through a hole that is gleaming through the roof.
I always forget. Can I cast my spells when I'm in my wild shape?
You have to be a certain circle for that, I believe. So I don't think
That
you
makes
are.
sense. I would be surprised if my circle had that included. Okay. Then I will watch the squirrels.
So, as they run out, you guys take a look around and you see a. Oh, there is no door in this room. There is another door that you saw coming back, going up the walkway, continuing further. So this room is just a standalone room. There is another door further down the walkway.
I guess we'll head to that one then.
Okay. Making your way back outside. Very cautiously moving across the boards, I assume?
Oh yeah, and I'm still a monkey.
Still a monkey. All right. So there is another gap in the walkway as you start to approach the second door on this wooden walkabout. Simple enough. It's just as wide as the other one for everyone to cautiously step over. However, it looks like there's only room for 2 people on the other side before you get to the door. Who would be the first 2 to go to open the door?
Andy will.
Yeah.
Andy and Lysander. Okay. So, who is going to be opening the door?
I will.
All right. You make your way over the gap, and Andy looks over to Lysander before motioning that she's going to open the door, and you reveal a room that contains a lingering smell of burnt wood and flesh. You catch the faint odor of wine just subtly. Snow has fallen through the holes in the roof, and the snow has subsequently been pushed off into the corners by stiff winds that blow through the windows. The walls and furniture are scorched black, including a table with the charred remains of a book on it. Next to the table, on the floor, amid several broken wine bottles, is a mostly incinerated skeleton and a round, frost-covered object about 6 inches in diameter.
Sorry, a round frost-covered object, you said?
Yes.
Andy's gonna try and, blow the frost off of the round object without touching it.
Okay. Lysander, what are you doing at this moment?
I would like to look at the charred book.
Okay. Who are the next 2 coming in?
Monkey.
Monkey. And Zizix, okay. So you guys make it in just fine, and you see the room. You see Andy making her way to the round object on the floor. Lysander is taking a look at the book. So let's see. I would have you roll an investigation check, Lysander, to look at the book.
All right. That would be a 10.
10. So there's really nothing left of this book. It looks like all the inner pages have been incinerated, and this leaving like the burned spine of this book. That you read the words "ether" on the spine. It's obviously not intact. It's a part of a larger word, but that's all that you can read on this.
Has Zizix made it in yet?
You look back and you see Zizix, yes.
I'm gonna walk the book over to him and ask, you have the mend spell, don't you?
Well, I can fix things if that's what you're asking.
Can you fix this? I ask as I hold the book up.
And I will cast the mend cantrip.
Okay. You take a minute or so to perform the mending, and during that time, Andy, as you're trying to blow the frost off of this, it doesn't seem to be moving at all. And then the next 2 we'll say is
Oh, your older friend Armand the Hammer would like to come in now.
Oh, good,
Yay.
Armand Hammer.
Yay!
There he is.
And Monkey?
Armand and Eclipse. They are next to come in.
But Monkey.
Monkey, I thought already came in.
Okay. Good.
What is Monkey wanting to do in the room now that I remember?
He will be very fixated on the book and seeing if it
okay.
gets fixed or not.
All right, very good. So Armand and Eclipse, you make your way over into the room, and you see Andy continuing to look at this circular object on the floor. You see the partially incinerated skeleton on the ground, and then the rest of the group seems to be hovered around this charred book that Zizix is trying to repair.
Well, Armand the Hammer, he would like to go check out the skeleton.
Okay. So, let's see. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Oh, that's a 21.
So you find the skeleton, you can tell, without going into further detail, that he used to be a man. And you see that there is a pristine, frost-covered amulet that this guy seems to be wearing.
Oh, well, I will take the amulet and take it to the Andy and see if she can see what it is.
Well, I don't think I have identify.
So, looking at this amulet, you see that it's a very bright gold chain with a circular pendant on it that seems to be that has the inscription on it of two hands grasping out in like a Kamehameha fashion with a sun between the two palms.
Like the Morning Lord?
Make a religion check with advantage.
Nat 20.
Yes, the Morning Lord.
God damn it. Looks like this is the symbol of the Morning Lord.
Oh, do you know what that might do?
The Morning Lord, like, off table, Sam, the Morning Lord doesn't typically call for people to be, like, to, sacrifice themselves, does he?
No.
So with that religion check, is there anything that, like, any reason that someone from the Morning Lord, like, someone that worshiped the Morning Lord might have done this, or, like, was he committing suicide, or was he killed, or...
It's hard to draw that. You know that there's no religious reason that the worshippers of the Morning Lord would do this unless they were at wit's end with perhaps this immediate surroundings of this never-ending winter. Like if it was a mental break of some sort, who knows? But it's all estimation at this point.
Well, the Morning Lord is not known as a deity that would call for any of his followers to do something like this to themselves. So, the best I could say or guess is to attribute it to madness induced by the weather conditions. But perhaps there's more to it.
Well, maybe I will just hang on to this for now.
Yeah. And she's gonna dust off that orb with her hands.
Okay. And start to dust it off, and we'll get to you in a second. Zizix, you start to continue to mend that book, and then you see that the spine is starting to regenerate. The pages, because they're completely gone, the pages are not coming back. But the spine, you can now make out the full title of this book, The Magical Wonders of Netheril.
Excited monkey noises.
I'll hand it back to Lysander.
What was the title on that? Sorry.
The Magical Wonders of Netheril.
Wait, I can read while I'm a monkey, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay, then I repeat. Excited monkey noises. And while I'm in animal form, everything I'm carrying just transformed with me, right? I'm not like a monkey carrying my shit.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. As I look around, does it look like there's safer footing in here than out there?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, I mean, the floors sort of creak when you guys walk around them. But it seems stable enough.
Okay, I'm gonna change back into myself.
Okay.
And as I do, I'll say, I have that book! And I'll reach into my bag and pull out my copy of that book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Isn't it, though? I'm pretty happy about it.
I'm very happy about it. You've come in quite handy these last 2 days. With the ward route and all. And now this. I put the book back on the table.
And now, you guys are slightly distracted for a split moment as a light has started to shine inside of this room. As Andy, when you pick up that orb, it begins to glow. I need you to make a dexterity saving check. And Armand Hammer, as you were near Andy as well, I also need you to make... I'm sorry, not dexterity, sorry. Constitution saving throw.
Oh. That's a 19 for Andy.
Oh, that's an 11 for Armand the Hammer.
Okay. You will take... Andy, you will take half of 10d10 plus 35 damage.
Holy fuck!
That is... Come on, D&D Beyond. Half of 97. That's 40...
48.
I'm dead.
What? No.
You'd be down.
As
Right?
you look over...
No, that's double my hit points. I'm dead.
48 is?
That shouldn't be. No, you're at like 41 or something, right?
I have 42 hit points, so 84. If it's more than 84.
No, you take 87, half of it, because you saved on the con save. Which is 48. So you
okay,
are
so I'm
minus
down.
6. However, as you guys start to look at this bright light, you see Andy and Armand engulfed into this flame. And then you see ashes as Andy looks to you and you see her hair starting to disintegrate to ash. Armand, his armor ashes away like Thanos if he were to snap. As they both become a pile of ash in the room. And the bright light recedes, and you see this orb, now not frost covered, but the immense flame and heat given off by this orb now sits dormant. As you can see, it's 2 rings in a gyroscopic fashion with some sort of black coal-like substance sitting in the middle.
I'm standing in shock of what we just witnessed. They both turn to ash.
Yes. If they take damage greater than their HP and there is damage remaining, they immediately turn to ash.
What the fuck?
No way.
Well,
Vega.
don't touch it.
Vega, I would like you to make an intelligence check, and I would like you to make this at advantage.
I always have to check. You said check, not saving throw, right?
Correct.
Okay. I'm always checking just in hopes that you meant saving throw. Because my saving throw is bomb. 16.
There's something very familiar about this object that's in the room, and you're thinking about it, and then you look over to the book that you just pulled out, and you think, this?
Oh.
It looks like the summer star. The, oh, I forgot the mouse. Fuck, what was the name that it had in the book?
Hold on. I may or may not have taken notes on this.
I
Let
think
me
you
look.
did. Mistiller. Mistillar.
God, I should really have a separate set page of notes just for my information from books I have.
Sure.
Yeah. I think I had a picture of like the cliff notes of this book or something.
So,
I think you might have sent that to me on Discord, so I'm gonna look.
we now go to Andy and Armand Hammer. As the bright light engulfed you, you find yourself inside the cabin exactly where you stand. But as you look down, you see that your armor, your hands, everything that you're wearing is translucent. You see Vega, Zizix, Lysander, and everyone standing nearby, just at a stone's throw away, as the object that you had picked up, Andy, sits at your feet.
So, are we sentient?
You look from side to side and you're taking in your surroundings just as normal.
So is there like a religion check I could do to know how to navigate this? Like how to...
No, this is not anything that you have ever come through with religion, but you see Armand directly standing next to you with the same translucent figure.
Okay. I mean, she's just gonna look at Armin because she has no idea what to fucking do.
That was a really bright light.
We don't look normal.
I don't know. Everybody, your old pal, arm on the hammer. He needs some help here.
And as you try to speak out to the others, they are not responding. They have started to look in your vicinity and cautiously approach. As Vega flips through some book, he starts to reading.
They don't see us.
Oh, this is not the really good.
Andy's gonna look back down at the orb. Should we try to touch it again?
Well, I mean, at this point, it doesn't seem like it could hurt.
Fuck it, Andy touches it again.
As you pass your hand down to reach and touch the orb again, your hand just passes through it.
Shit.
You hear a voice. Ah, someone else has come to join me in my eternal ethereal prison.
What is this?
This is neither here nor there. This is me on the ground there. That was my amulet you were holding. But nevertheless, here we are.
Where is it here?
Here is inside of this cabin that I was trying to devise ancient technology to try to cure this winter solstice that seems to never end. But obviously something went wrong. I looked at the book all I could, and apparently something went awry. Here I am, incinerated on the floor, but before you is myself and fully clothed. Thankfully, it would be really awkward if we weren't.
I mean, this seems really awkward anyway.
We have
At
to
least
get back out.
Well, I don't have any answers for you. I don't think, but maybe there's a way back. But you guys are the first ones to make it here to, even try, I suppose. Perhaps if it were to activate again, it could bring us back.
I don't know. When we activated it, you didn't come back.
You might be right, but, well, it's hard to tell how long I've been like this. Maybe there's something wrong. Maybe there's something awry with my construction. Do you have any friends that are handy with things?
Not that we can communicate with.
Oh, just... It's really tough, but we can try. Look, as he starts to walk over towards the window, and you see the frost covered on the inside. He drags his finger on the outer part of this cabin, and you see that, unlike when you tried to reach down for the Mythalar, your hand did touch the floor. It seems that you are bound to this cabin for some reason or another. He reaches to the window and he inscribes, "We are here," in the frost of the window. says, if you concentrate on manipulating the surroundings, like fully concentrate on it, you can make headway. As he moves over to the table and the charred book where it had been sat down, he slowly walks through Vega, Lysander, and he slowly slides the book off the table. This might let them know that we're here at least.
Certainly hope so.
So, for now, we're gonna hop back to the land of the living, see how they react. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Were you making the secrets?
Secrets are fun.
Uh-huh.
Secrets don't like.
Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
So, last I left, Vega was flipping through the book of his above table notes. What did you find?
Well, yeah, Vega is flipping through the book itself. Okay. I found a description of what the book was, and am now Googling what Mythlars are. Because my character's researching it, so why shouldn't I, right?
So, Mythlars are the devices that was used to create pleasant weather, to control the weather around you. This was used in Netheril times, and this was discovered in the book at one point.
That's one of the biggest things it's used for. It's also used just to create magical items in general, it looks like. Mm-hmm. And they were also what was able to make this flying cities fly, I believe.
Yes.
And there was something else. It can teleport, like... This I haven't found since I've just been researching, but I remember seeing this at some point. They can, like, teleport an entire fucking town worth of people or something, I want to say.
Yes.
They're crazy powerful, and they can do all kinds of things, but I'm not sure. I haven't read anything that applies to what just happened to our friends, so that's what I'm looking for.
So, as the charred book has been placed back onto the table, it suddenly clatters to the ground beside you.
I will immediately look at it.
And it's just fallen open. There's no sudden gust of wind. Nothing that could have constituted that as being blown off the table by any means. I would like everyone to make a everyone make a perception check.
Okay, while we're doing that, can I ask, are there pages in the book again now, or is it still just the spine?
Still just the spine.
Okay.
19 for Lysander.
What was that? Sorry.
19.
19.
23 for Vega.
23.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I read my die wrong. That is 17.
Yep. Zizix Eclipse.
That's a 10 for Eclipse.
10. So Zizix, what'd you get?
21.
21. So everyone but Eclipse, for some reason, start to hear something. It sounds
She's a cat. She got distracted.
She did. You start to hear what sounds like the scraping of glass, and you guys all slowly turn over towards one of the windows that had not been blown out. And you see there is now a message scrawled on the window that says, "We're here."
Okay. That gives me hope. I was hoping that they just got sent to another plane or something. They're here at least in some way. I'm going to keep trying to figure out what's going on, and I'm going to put my face right back in the fucking book.
I need you to make an intelligence check.
$11.
It's hard to, in a panic, try to research and find information, but something just barely catches your attention. That all the portrayals of the Mythalar in the book, they vary just a little bit from what you see on the ground in front of you. Most Mythalars are huge in size.
Yeah, I literally just read that before you came back from DM's court. It was like 150-foot diameter or something crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. However, there is another significant difference that you notice, is that this Mythalar in front of you has 2 gyroscopic rings, whereas in the book there are 3.
What could I draw that means?
Not exactly sure if it's just a different well, you would draw that as being not from the official archetype of how to make one of these. This looks to be something experimental and not actually from Netheral times. This was constructed very recently.
Okay. So this is, not to say amateur work, but not professional.
Not compared to Netherese standards.
Right. Okay.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know he hasn't said anything yet about what he's researched, but I know that he is researching. And you said that we did see the message scratched into the window?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to walk up to Vega and tell him I speak Netherese. Should I say something?
Well, that is a thought. I don't know what you. Sorry, my push to talk.
All right.
That's a very good thought, but I don't know what you would say.
Well, who is here? Who is scratching the message into the window?
I would assume that that's Andy and Armand.
Well, why don't you ask?
Who is here?
Okay.
Sorry, I assumed that that's who it was and immediately started trying to figure out how to help them. I guess that was a quick assumption. Yes, please try and figure out who it is. I'm still going to try and figure out how to help them.
I'm sorry.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, 1 second as I have to read something for them. Perchance them. Let's see. Okay. I will be back.
Yeah, because my thought was that whoever took them is saying we are here.
All right, I have returned. So,
Hello.
as you guys are conversing with this individual, you see that his scrawling of the note has been taken notice by the group, and Lysander walks over. You see Vega pointing at the item on the ground at your feet and seems to be saying something, but you hear no sound from him.
Well, what else do we do? I don't know all of us very well yet. You know these all better than I do.
I don't know what to do though. I mean, I don't have any insight to help them other than letting them know we're still here.
And this man, he looks and he says he has the copy of the same book that I did. That's fortuitous for us, to say the least.
Good.
If I'm recalling correctly, it's been a long time since I've looked at the book, but in case if something like this were to happen, I think I recall seeing that this could be reversed after or before 24 hours, but after 24 hours are up, I think you'll be here with me. At least we'll have pleasant company.
So there's no hope for you.
Oh, it seems that's not the case. We might as well introduce myself. My name is Macrodus.
I'm Adriana. Andy.
Marcus, that's a really nice name. Sorry we have to meet like this, but I'm your older friend, Armand the Hammer.
You don't look that old.
Oh, I'm not very old. I'm pretty young, but I'm still your older friend, Armand the Hammer.
Well, it's nice to make both your acquaintances under this precarious circumstance, but there is still hope. I hope. If they are to reactivate it, I think there is a way to get you at least back, and it might be very lonely for me. Get you back to the plane of the living. I had intended to try to invent some way to, I guess, copy some way to rid this plane of this never-ending winter that we have currently on us. But we need to convey to them somehow. Perhaps they could finish my work, which is obviously incomplete.
What work is that?
On constructing this summer star, this Mythalar. It's old at Netherese technology I've tried to pattern this from. If there are any capable craftsmen, I see that metal man walking around. Surely there's one in your group if you have made him.
Yes, we do have someone.
Which one?
That one, and she points at Zizix.
Oh my god! It's the little baby!
He's a man.
Still is small like a baby and very cute.
Well, if he knows his way around some tools, he might be able to finish the construction. Perhaps we should influence this decision somehow. Try focusing and pushing it towards him. Who would like to try to do that? If you would like to try to do that.
If he touches it, won't he just end up like us?
Just be... As he starts to go towards your feet and take a look at the Mythalar, and he says, I think it's dormant for a while now. I think it recharges after each day.
Oh. Okay.
So, I need you to make a charisma check if you would like to try to push this thing.
Well, I will try.
Will too.
Okay? Whichever one of you, go ahead and make that check.
I got a 14.
Okay?
And I got the 16.
So with both of your combined efforts, you start to get this thing to roll towards Zizix. Can't wait for his reaction. Alright. So,
Oh boy.
as you guys are discussing the next course of action, you hear a jingling of metal. And Zizix, the Mythalar, is rolling for you. It rolls to your feet. It's about to make contact.
I'm going to cast Invisibility.
Alright, and you pop out of view. And the Mythalar lies dormant at your feet.
And I'm going to scurry away.
Alright, where are you going?
Behind Vega.
Okay. So the Mythalar approaches Zizix, and Zizix disappears.
Oh shit, Zizix!
I'm here.
Like, actually here, or here like they're here?
No, I'm actually here.
Okay, so you're just invisible.
And by the way, I left you guys and you had called out and tried to say something, right? There is no response to anything that you've said.
Okay, I've been reading more, both above and on table.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure they're in the Upside Down.
God.
Yes.
Referred to as Shadowfell, or the Plane of Shadow. And I'm saying this to everyone in game. So I'm pretty sure they're in the Plane of Shadow. All I can find so far about getting back from there is it's possible to find vortices in places that are very, very dark, but there's no guarantee that one will be there, or if there is, there's no guarantee of how long. They're just kind of random in dark places. But the realm that they're in does match our realm. It's just opposite and darker and bleaker and full of death and decay. But I'm going to keep seeing if I can find something better, but if I can't, we may just have to find a dark place and hope that there's a fucking portal there. I don't know. I'm going to keep looking. and I bury my face back in the book.
Okay.
This is scary.
Yeah.
If they come back and a fucking Demogorgon comes with them, I'm gonna be upset.
Pissed.
I think it'd be cool.
Okay, above table, it'd be pretty cool. In the game, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, I just want to avoid that ball rolling around.
Yeah, hate that. Hate that a lot.
So, anything else as your guys' turn before I go back to them?
No, okay, so having not heard a response, I would like to ask in Netherese this time, who is here?
When you speak the words of the Netherese, long forgotten language, hear no response.
Okay. I'll wait for Vega's word on what to do next.
And I'm gonna hop back over to them.
Okay.
Your friends, they seem to be stuck.
Well, how do you propose we unstick them?
There, the char, the ash. We can write messages on the floor for them.
What messages? I mean, we don't even know how to fix this.
He has the instruction manual. It's right there.
Then Andy's gonna crouch down and draw an arrow in the ashes pointing towards the manual.
Oh, by the way, sorry, I need to fill you in on this. As the ball was rolling towards Zizix, he disappeared from existence. And then everyone was looking around, and Vega looked directly behind him and seemingly was talking to somebody.
Jesus Christ. Andy's gonna draw an arrow towards the manual and write manual in the ashes.
Okay, go ahead and make a charisma check.
That's a 7.
Okay. You are able to inscribe part of the message, but it's a little hard to read. You can go back and try to make it a second time if you would like, but it would just take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, go ahead and do that once more. Some aspiring paladin with
17.
horrible charisma rolls.
Look, she's not an aspiring paladin, she's a fucking cleric.
So, with the retrace over some of your words, this is gonna be fun when I hop back over. I'm gonna tell him that a message appears with an arrow saying "man," and then it gets fixed later. So you're able to finish your message. Armand, is there anything that you would like to do during this time to try to communicate with the others?
Well, I'm gonna watch my new friend Andy draw the word "the man" in the suit, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bend down right next to her, and I'm gonna try to write the word "read it."
Okay. Go ahead and make a charisma check.
Oh, that's really bad. That's a 7?
All right. Are you going to also take the time to fix it, or are you going to leave it as is?
Seeing how Andy did not do so good the second time, I think as badly as I have probably written this, I probably need to go again.
Okay. So, with that, I'm going to hop back over to them. I hope you guys aren't extremely bored with
We're fine,
such
we're
downtime.
fine.
Okay. Hello there.
Hello there.
Hey,
General Kenobi.
All right. So, as you guys have continued reading, you look around and no responses to Lysander's call into the Nether. As you guys start to take notice that there is a line being drawn in the ground. Watch this line being traced, and you see it moving. And then from this line, a letter is spelled M A N, and next to it there's another letter being spelled of a separate word, R E D. You see the words Red Man or Man Red. It's tough to say.
Red Man, you said? Or Man Red?
So man is at the top nearest the line that is close to the charred book, and then below it off to the left is the word red with an odd space after the E.
Are they capitalized or lowercase?
If you said that they're in the upside down, could things be backwards?
They seem to be in all caps.
I don't know, Zizix. I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's a mirror or if it's just a darker version. I'm not sure. I can't. I'm trying to find how to get them out. There might be an answer to that in here too, but not that I've seen yet.
And after a little bit of time passes after the message has been written, you see that there's been some corrections. And that line is now an arrow pointing at the charred book. The words Red Man are actually manual. Read it.
That's what I'm doing.
But it's at the charred book, so there's nothing in it.
Right, but I have another copy of that book in my hand, and that's what I'm reading.
But what if it's
Well,
that specific edition? Like, is there something specific in that book we need to be looking at?
As you compare the spines, you see they are the same edition.
Damn it.
However, you start to hear a scratching on the window again. And you see the word being spelled. Finish it.
Finish burning it?
No. I think they mean finish
Yeah.
the device or whatever spell it cast that sent them away. So I'm going to dive right back into the book and look for what they're talking about.
Okay, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
On it.
Sam, I would ask though, would Lek be able to see anything with his magic eye?
Not currently. He would note that there is no magic coming from the device, the Mythalar.
Weird. Okay. I'm gonna ask this every time.
Mhm.
Check, not saving throw, right?
Correct.
Damn it. 19.
Unless you are running away from something, it is a check.
I know. I just want it to be a saving throw because it's so much better.
So what was your score?
19.
19. So you're continuing to just parse through this book. And really the only difference, besides the size, is that the device on the floor in front of you is missing a gyroscopic ring.
So it needs another ring. That's right. Okay. I'm gonna look around and see if I see anything that looks like it could be the missing piece.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
On it.
Are you going to share this information with us?
Yeah, as I start looking around, I'm gonna say it's missing a piece. It needs another ring. Help me find it.
Okay. Then I will also investigate.
Okay, go ahead.
Fuck, I got a 6.
I got a 19.
19.
Better than a 6.
So, unfortunately, you don't see anything into this room that would reflect what you're looking for, but then you are drawn to the 3 doors sitting in the back of this room and the hallway leading off to the side with one of the windows busted in. There's a door on the left, in the middle, on the right, and then a 4th door going into a separate room down the hallway.
I'm going to suggest that we each check different rooms, and I'll go to the 4th one that's by itself.
Okay. As you enter that room, wooden planks have been nailed over the broken window of this room to hold out the wind. Furnishings include a saggy double bed and a bookcase containing some folded clothes, a few blank sheets of parchment, and a set of calligrapher's supplies. Next to the bookcase is a soot-stained hearth, wherein a scroll lies within the ashes.
I'm going to see what the scroll is.
The scroll looks to be a letter that has been burned. Looks like it might have been carried by the wind into the hearth. But the parts of the letter that you can read, you see that it's signed by a person named Macaduro, and he details that he has been trying to work on a device to overturn this never-ending winter, that he had come into possession of a book of Netherese technology that he was loosely patterning in a smaller degree, in a smaller form, to try to recreate the Mythalars of years past. That he has built it in the workshop inside of this cabin, and that he hopes that this would be just the first of his many triumphs as a person.
Okay, I will put that scroll in my pocket and continue looking for the other ring, I guess.
Okay, so nothing else in this room stands out as anything helpful here. So, Zizix, would you like to go investigate a room?
Yes.
You have 1, 2, or 3.
3.
Okay. As you make your way into this room, a stiff wind blows through the broken window in the east wall, causing a tattered gray curtain to billow and flap like angry ghosts. And the snow has totally covered the bed and much of the surrounding floor. With your passive perception, you don't see anything of use inside of this room. Eclipse, would you like to take a try at one of the rooms?
Yes.
1 or 2?
1.
Okay. You open up the door to this room and you are actually caught off guard by the smell, as the scent of this room is filled with wine, and you see 4 covered barrels that have just been frosted over.
I will go and see if the barrels say anything.
Yes. You see inscribed on the barrel, Desserin Valley Vineyard.
Are they leaking or anything, or does it just smell that way?
It just smells very pungent, very sweet.
I'll leave them in that case.
Okay. And then Lysander, room number 2 is left for you.
All right.
As you open up the door to this room contains a fireplace and 2 empty bookcases. Tacked to the walls and strewn across the floor are frost-covered blueprints. And face down on the floor next to the one of the blueprints is a tiny man made of clay.
Can I make out anything in the blueprints?
You can definitely recognize that these are the blueprints of theory for the device that lays on the floor that took the lives of your 2 friends.
Okay.
These designs are drawn up to be, drawn up to be of the 2-ring variety, not the 3-ring. So it looks like the 3rd ring is missing. That Vega pointed out, looks to have never been created because it wasn't in the original blueprint.
Okay. Out of curiosity, I would like to look through the ashes in the fireplace.
You do not find anything of note in the ashes.
Okay. And the placement of this little clay figurine, is it anything of note? Was it sitting atop a piece of parchment from these blueprints? Any specific reason why it would be where it is that I can tell?
Make an insight. No, there wouldn't be any correlation. It's not on top of anything. It's just kind of towards one side of the room, over near where the blueprints are, but not on top of any one particular thing.
Okay. I'm going to go find Vega real quick.
Okay. Easy enough. He's probably returned from the bedroom at the same time.
You might want to look at this, I say as I gesture to the room that I just came out of.
And I will start heading into that room, and as I do, I'll hand him the scroll and say, "This is what I found."
And Zizix, you'll probably regroup as well, not finding anything in that room, and Eclipse as well. You guys are all in this laboratory. Zizix, I would like you to make a intelligence or arcana check at advantage.
Is this against a magical item or historical check?
No.
Yeah, I would also like Zizix to come in the room too.
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay, good.
27.
So you are immediately drawn to the tiny clay man in the room, as you immediately recognize it as a dead homunculus.
What the heck is a homunculus?
Oh god. And that's in the room that Lysander was in.
Yeah, it's in the room that you guys are all currently in, the lab.
Oh, guys, that's a dead homunculus.
I wonder if he was a test subject.
This place is getting worse and worse.
Well, it is, but if there's a possibility that we can save our friends, that they're still around, Here, look at these blueprints. Notice that there's only 2 rings.
Okay, so he never designed this one with 3 rings, which might have been why it's a problem and why it was not a success.
Right.
We need to try and forge a 3rd ring for it.
Zizix, do you think that you could do that?
Create a ring?
Yeah.
For this device. And I'm going to start looking at the blueprints to see if I see what kind of metal is used or anything.
Give me the blueprints.
I will do that.
And with my type of gnome and my background, I'm pretty well versed in reading blueprints.
Mm-hmm.
So can I decipher the blueprint and exactly what we need for it?
Yeah, so looking at this, it doesn't look like there's any sort of specific metal that needs to be used, as long as it can be contoured into the shape that you need. Looking at the rune, or looking at the blueprint, you see that there are a specific set of runes that need to be inscribed, which you can also correlate to the book that Vega has as being the same runic script on all 3 rings. And then you have the size and everything. You know the gist of what you need to do to make this.
Okay. Let me see what I have on me.
You could also maybe take a leg from Lysander to sacrifice and...
How big does the ring have to be? Couldn't it just be a
for
finger?
a whole leg.
I thought this thing wasn't full size.
You maybe take his jaw. He'd be a mute. I'm kidding. It does not need to be... it looks like the amount of metal that you need needs to be about a 1/4 pound of metal.
Does anyone have like a dagger I could use?
I might. 1 second.
Actually, I have one. Yeah, it may take me a little bit to fashion this, but I think I can do this.
That would be wonderful. I will help you in any way I can.
So Sam, what I'll do is I'll take my dagger that I have and get my blacksmith tools out and I guess start belting on it to turn it into a ring.
You will need fire of some sort.
I can help with that.
Good thing fire is one of all of our fortes, I guess.
Yep, very true. All right. So,
I will find some firewood. I assume there's some around since there's multiple fireplaces in here.
no, it seems to be devoid of firewood, at least in here.
Okay, then I will
Um,
break one of the bookshelves as much as it hurts my heart to do so, and use that for firewood.
no, we don't need to do that. And is there a clearing in the area?
What do you mean?
Like, is there a clear 5-foot space that won't be flammable?
Like in this room?
Yeah.
No, it's all wood. It's a
There's
wooden
an
cabin.
actual fireplace in here though.
Oh, true. Yeah. The fireplaces, yeah.
Okay. Man, I really wanted to use that spell. I guess we can do the fireplace.
Okay, I'll just break some shelves and put them in the fireplace and cast Firebolt to light it.
Easy enough. So, as you guys start to work on the creation of a new ring, I think this is a good time to end for the night.
But I don't wanna.
Welcome back to the land of the living for now.
For now.
For
Yeah,
now, we're going to end here tonight.
You guys are hosed.
Are you guys in the upside down?
Yeah, we already established that.
Do we
But they
need
weren't
to
here for that.
do we need to string up some Christmas lights or something?
That's
Or
copyright infringement.
lanterns? Or lanterns?
Yeah, it's funny. I actually have been Googling and trying to find out stuff about this the entire time Vega's been reading in his book about it. So that's how I figured out that you guys are in the Upside Down, because I'm reading about the Mythlars on Google searches and shit. And yeah, what was it called? The
Diamond Head,
Shadow,
thank you so much for the
Shadowfell
follow.
is
I
one name for
appreciate
it,
you.
or the
Thanks for coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed the show so
whatever.
far.
There's
We're
another
going
name,
to catch up a little bit since the party was separated. Yeah, but how'd you guys feel about this session? I guess a good way to end it for you guys who are in the Upside Down is you see everyone read these messages. The man that you were with went back to the window and said, repair it, and wrote that into the window. And that caused everyone to break out into searching the house for a third ring. Eclipse went into a room that had some barrels of sweetberry wine. Vega found a burned letter in a fireplace. Zizix found an empty bedroom. Lysander found a laboratory that had some blueprints, and they all reconvened in the laboratory from what you could see. And you saw Zizix pull out a dagger and take to the fireplace to start melting it down.
That's progress.
Yes.
That's
Progress
good to
indeed.
know.
right. Oh man, Pom Pom.
Great.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this session. I knew once we got to this area, it'd be a little bit different than most of our sessions, and I thought pretty interesting. So
Yeah,
we'll see
very
if you
much
guys
so.
can get them out within the time frame. So we'll see.
Let's hope.
But anyway, for myself, for the rest of the party, thank you guys all for tuning in. I hope you had a good time. I know I did. I hope the party did as well, and you as viewers enjoyed this session. Come back next week, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Or if you joined late and want to catch up on the rest of the episode, we're uploading tomorrow at 7 p.m. on YouTube and the link below. Any information regarding our artist, her Instagram is down below, Megan Roden. She does a great job, fantastic work. Big plans in her future that we're not at liberty to say just yet. but we're really excited for everything that she's done for us and where she's going in her profession. So, for myself and everyone else, thank you again, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.